that is straight blasphemy. You should be covered up because you don't understand how much you affect men when you dress like that. We can't help ourselves. And I'm like, oh, sir, you're telling on yourself. You're saying the quiet part out loud on a rant about how women, this is a direct quote, women have been temptresses of men since the dawn of time. Then he asked me if I'd heard of sirens before, and I'm like, the mythological creature? Yes, good sir. Point, please? He goes, Eve tempted Adam. She's been the downfall of women everywhere. And I'm like, Eve tempted Adam. She's been the downfall of women everywhere.
When men say this crap, I get so annoyed because they continuously forget that Adam walked with God before Eve ever walked with God. God gave Adam the rules and regulations before she came into the picture. And men want to continuously blame Eve because that's what they do. They blame shift. So, my good man, get your shit and your facts right, because it was Adam who had the rules. He could have said, no, ma'am, if you want to go ahead and do that, go do it, but I'm going to replace you because God is my provider. He didn't do that. Men have never trusted in God or had faith in God. They've only liked to use God for whatever God has given them. So don't sit there and listen to all that bibbity babble stuff because it's all nonsense. Perfect example of why men cannot take accountability for their actions. Here you go, ladies. This is it right here. Adam walked with God way before Eve did. Adam was being provided for before Eve came into the picture. Okay, he had the rules and regulations before Eve did, and he still chose to eat the fruit. That's on him. Men complain about how they have to break their backs and they live in a world where they have no direction. They just work until they die. Well, this is the reason. Adam did that to you. Blame Adam and blame yourself for choosing to do something that's not good for you, but doing it anyway because you want to not fear missing out. It's on you. And listen, I'm not religious by any stretch of the imagination, but I grew up in the church. And I remember breaking this down to my father, this Genesis line. And he was kind of taken aback. He didn't know how to respond to that because he had gone his whole life thinking we need to blame women for everything. There you have it.
And the gag is, he could have told God, bring forth another woman because she isn't it. It could have changed the trajectory of this whole entire story. But he didn't do that. He should have chose better. But he chose not to. He chose not to trust in God. He chose to fear the woman that he just met.